Hi everybody, it's cookie day in Mama G's pantry, and today we're going to make Snickerdoodles. Thanks, the requests are coming in fast and furious, and I had a few for this recipe. It's certainly a family favorite. Now I'm sure you're all wondering where I get this treasure trove of wonderful recipes. And now you can all start laughing your head off because this is what I use most of the time. I am Lori the Luddite. I do not use an app. This has a variety of recipes, emails, photocopies. There's a bunch of stuff in here from my mom's old recipe box and her handwriting. And you know, to me cooking is a very physical thing, and I like to get all dirty and I like to make my recipes all wet. And so this is my cookbook and my recipe book that I use the most. Speaking of cookbooks, well, I went and looked at my Joy of Cooking, which really is an all-time favorite. This is my second copy of it. I'm pretty sure if I threw it in a pot and boiled it, I'd probably get a pretty tasty, chocolatey, soupy brew. And I have to say I'm quite ashamed of this because I was a bookseller for 30 years and the cracking of a spine is almost an immoral thing. So maybe there's an idea for Christmas, because there is a new edition out that has omitted such favorites as squirrels and other flattened fauna, and apparently now includes a whole bunch more international things. Anyway, back to Snickerdoodles. Very old cookie recipe, kind of almost forgotten. Apparently it came out of New England. And there's basically, it's a crinkly cinnamon sugar coated cookie. It may be of German origins. My Joy of Cooking says it may have come from the German word Schlenken, which means crinkly noodles. Anyway, it's a delicious, delicious cookie. Let's have a look at the ingredients, okay? Like most cookies, we are going to start, and cakes, we're going to start with creaming together our sugar with some butter and shortening. This is 1.5 cups of sugar. I have a stick and a half of butter and half a stick or 1/4 cup of shortening. And once that gets all floofy, we're going to add some eggs. Over here I've added my dry ingredients. Right now it calls for 2 1/4 cups of flour. I have 2 in here. I'm just reminding everybody to spoon and level. There we go. So I have 2 1/4 cups of flour in here. I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, and half a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to whisk that all up. And to finish them off, we rub them, we roll these little balls of cookies in a mixture of sugar and cinnamon. Okay, I'm going to get to work creaming the butter and sugar because, as we know, that should take 3 or 4 minutes to get it really nice and light and fluffy. And then come back and join me and we'll finish them up. Alright everybody, we're back. And in my bowl, you can see I've creamed my sugar and butter quite nicely and shortening. Now I'm just going to add my 2 eggs. And unlike a cake, where you should probably add your eggs when you add your eggs one at a time, in this one we can just put it in here. And make sure it's really nice and fluffy. There's no other liquids that go in this. So you want these wet ingredients to be quite pliable. Okay, that looks good. Now with my whisked dry ingredients, I'm going to add them all. And I'm just going to use my mixer 20-30 seconds just to help me pull it together. I'll probably finish up here with my wooden spoon because this is going to get very thick. We have it all mixed. Oh, it's coming together nicely. Okay, so this is really the dough, almost the dough for any good sugar cookie. But the things with Snickerdoodles is the sugar and cinnamon. We're going to roll it in. Okay. Put our dough off there. Hang on. Okay. Now I've washed my hands, of course. So we're going to take about, it says this makes 36 cookies. So what we're going to take is make balls about 1 inch, 1.25 inches big, and then roll them all around in that sugar. Okay? Now you'll notice on my baking sheets, which are very well used baking sheets, that I use these things called Silpats out of France. They're basically replace parchment paper, keep things from sticking. If you bake as much as I do, they're a good investment. If not, parchment paper always works just fine. All right, so I'm going to make up a couple of pans of these and we'll get back and show you how they look. Alrighty, we're all rolled up then. This didn't do all the dough, but I'm only going to do 2 pans at a time, of course. So I just wanted to let you see this. On my large baking pan, I can put 12, and you have to give them at least a couple inches apart. These might even spread a bit, because they spread a lot. Hopefully they won't spread into each other. And so in my smaller pan, I only put 8, okay? So in they go to a 400-degree oven, quite hot, but they only take 8 to 10 minutes. And with this, you kind of have to, if you don't want to get them too brown, you'll see they're going to flatten out and they kind of poof up. Because these end up being a chewy cookie, you don't want them crisp. You don't want them in there too long. So I'm going to set my timer for 8 minutes, have a look at them, make sure they're going to stay together, but not overbake, okay? So 400 degrees, 8 minutes. We'll see you then. Okay, so those have been in there now about 8.5 minutes. My one is on. Oh, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Lightly browned. You can see they're a little poofy. They're gonna sort of immediately fall. Hopefully, if I've done this right, they will still be nice and chewy. But that's kind of what they look like on the top. See how those kind of fell? Hopefully they're done. So normally you would let cookies rest on there for a little bit because they're still cooking. And because these are quite delicate still, I might just leave them for a couple of minutes, but I'll just start putting, of course, a handy dandy tray. A baking tray like this is good for cakes, cookies, that once they're cooking, they should cool without sitting on the bottom of anything, or they could get a little damp. But basically, there you go, Snicker Doodles. Rumor got out, so my daughter's on her way home, on her way over here, to pick up bags for her, her sister, my sister. It's going to be a happy Saturday in Edmonton. Bye, everyone.